Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Now, many of you probably have built websites, your own website, websites for your family and friends, websites for businesses. If you have a business, you probably have created your own website, e-commerce site, or for your clients. And if you have done that, you know that you have to go a couple of routes. Traditional route is to get a shared hosting plan, the $5 a month plan, like a Bluehost or GoDaddy or many of those. Or if you need to get more elaborate, you have to go with a VPS, your own dedicated server. But then when you have that, you have to configure the server, secure it, set it up so that it can handle multiple websites. And then you have to maintain it, keep it secured, keep it updated, keep the operating system updated. So that is all in the past. What I want to show you through these series of videos is how to set up a VPS system using the latest cloud technology. We would be using AWS with their Lightsail product. It's easy to configure, it can scale, you don't have to worry about security, keeping it maintained, keeping it updated. All you do is worry about building your website and let it worry about everything else. And it's highly scalable, so if your website, your blog, or whatever you're building goes viral, it's able to handle that load. As compared to shared plans, where they actually put you on a server that has 1,000 other websites, so you get a little piece of it. And if your website grows, you're not going to be able to grow. The videos are intended to really show you how to get up and running on Lightsail. So let's get ready and start with the first video. All right, to get started, we want to go ahead and head over to the Lightsail homepage. To do that, you would just type in aws.amazon.com/Lightsail, and that'll take you to this screen. To get started, we need to create a AWS Lightsail account. And to do that, you would just click on the complete sign up. I think I've already started playing around with this earlier, so I got that button called complete sign up, but what you really want to get to is just create a new AWS account. If you already have an existing AWS account from perhaps previous projects or from other systems, you can go ahead and use that. Just click on the sign into an existing AWS account. However, if you want to create a new account and not use anything else, you can go ahead and get that. One of the advantages that you'll get is any other AWS services that you want to use. I think many of them will come with a free tier access for up to a year. So things like an EC2, if you want to play around with that, S3 buckets, as well as DynamoDB, all of that and some other services you'll get for free for a whole year. So I highly suggest you go ahead and create a new account, even though you may have an existing AWS account. I think you should also be able to use your Amazon.com account if you have a Prime account or just a normal customer account from when you've purchased some things on Amazon.com. You should be able to single sign on with that account, your AWS account here. Now, there are about 5 screens that walk you through the process of getting the account created. I'm not going to show you each and every screen here. What we'll do is I've already created my account, so I'll walk you through what these screens are, and then at the end, we'll go right into what it looks like once you've signed in. So the first screen here, what you see here is the create the AWS account, the actual account information that you'll use to log into the account each time. The second screen is contact information. Then you'll also, third screen will be asked to give your billing preferences or billing payment information. I think they only allow you to select a credit card or a debit card. So you must have either one of those to actually create an account. You can't use PayPal or Amazon Pay or some other payment method at this time. The fourth screen is a phone verification process. During the second screen of setting up, providing your contact information, you'll be giving them your mobile number. And what they do is they will call you And I shouldn't say mobile number. It's actually any phone number. Probably a landline would work as well. But what they do is, they'll call you. An automated system will call you and will ask you to key in the four digits that are shown on the screen at the time. And once your phone or your account is verified, and through that process, then you'll get a screen that just basically says, check mark, you've been verified. I think the last screen talks about if you want to sign up for any support plans as part of your Lightsail account. There's a basic plan, and then there's 2 paid plans. The basic plan is free, and I think it's email only or community forums or something like that. And then it goes up in terms of the response that you get. You would want to have from them in case you need to open tickets or call them or email them. And so those are different paid accounts, and you can sign up for those if those are your requirements. But otherwise, just select the basic one and get started. So once you've finished all those screens, you should be able to just log in to your Lightsail account and get to the Lightsail dashboard, which we're going to go take a look at right now. All right, once you've completed your sign-up process of getting your AWS Lightsail account set up, what you would want to do is just head on over to lightsail.aws.com. It's going to ask you to sign in. Go ahead and give it your email address. If it's already filled in, then you just give it your password and click on sign in. It's going to take you to your Lightsail homepage or dashboard page. Let's go through the 4 tabs that are available at the top, and then we'll go through, walk you through creating a simple instance and just show you how fast and easy it is. The first one, obviously, is the instances page. This is where all your instances will be available. The second one is a networking page. Here you get to do at least 3 things for now, and the services available in the networking section should increase as they add on more features. But the first and most important one will be a static IP address. If you're planning to do any kind of production hosting on here, you'll want a static IP address. A good thing is it's included with any instance that you create as part of the Lightsail account. So a static IP is included with that. And I'll show you how to create a static IP address in storage. You'll see that instances already come with a system storage, and there's a predefined amount. I think they start out with 20 gigs, but if you wanted any additional storage resources, then you would come here to create those. Finally, snapshots. A snapshot is nothing but a moment in time backup of your entire instance. So you can create as many snapshots as you want. I believe they keep a rolling history about 5 days or 5 snapshots. And then you can use those snapshots for restoring your system in case you needed to revert back, or creating a brand new instance based on a snapshot. So coming back to the instances tab, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is click on create your instance. A couple of the top items will be automatically selected for you. You can change them if you really know what they are and why you need to change them. Those 2 things are regions and availability zones. For now, since we're just trying to get started and playing around with this, we will not change that. In one of the future videos, I'll explain to you what regions are and availability zones are. But for now, you can just keep it as a default option, or whatever that's selected here. Second is you're going to select your OS or your platform. And this next section will talk about what kind of application you want to deploy onto your instance. There are a variety of options available here depending on what technology you're building your web application in or your website in. Or if you're just trying to learn, you can pick one of these and then it actually sets up the entire system. You don't have to manage anything. You don't have to manage the OS, any security patches, any vulnerabilities, any configuration. You basically pick it, set it, and it's all done for you. The second tab, I won't walk you through this just yet. We'll walk through that in the second video, but on here you'll be able to select a bare bones OS system. That could either be a Linux system or a Windows system. And this is what we eventually want to use. But for this first just intro video, I wanted to show you how to create a WordPress instance. If you're doing some development or just wanted to play around with WordPress, this is how fast you can get it. This is the quickest option to get started with WordPress without worrying about how to set it up, how to install it, how to connect it to a database, how to install MySQL, and any of that low-level information. You don't need to do any of that. Select WordPress. Further down, choose your instance plan. The first month is free on the $5 month plan, so that's what we're going to select. The last option before we go ahead and create our instance is to give your instance a name. I like to keep the naming convention that AWS Lightsail pre-fills for you. A couple of reasons I like that. One is it gives us the type of instance we're creating, the type of plan we're creating, and then the region and availability zone. If you're planning to put a lot of sites or a lot of instances on your account, then this will easily help you identify which instance you're working with. The only thing I do here is prepend it with a project name. So if I was just, for example, where all we're doing is a test site, then I will just prefix it with test site, and that way I know exactly which instance I'll work with. I'll go ahead and hit create. All right, as you can see here, it's starting to provision our instance for us. It's going to take a couple of minutes, so I will be right back. We'll start the video back up once it's done provisioning that WordPress instance for us. All right, well, we have our WordPress instance running. As you can see, it says running, and it is ready for us to actually hit. So I have not attached a domain name to this instance, so the only way we will be able to access it is via our IP address. So if I just copy this IP address, open up a new tab, and paste that IP address and hit it, it should try to connect and show me the default WordPress theme and the home page. So let's give it a second. While it's doing that, I will go ahead and click on the test WordPress, the name of my instance. Go ahead and click on that and you'll go into the details of it. Let me give you just a brief, quick overview of the different tabs that are available here. The first one is Connect, and this is basically gives you options on how to connect to your instance via command line or SSH terminal. The second one talks about or just shows you the system disk that's allocated, and then if you had any additional attached disk, they would be listed out here. The third tab provides you metric data. So this will be data around CPU utilization, network, incoming inbound network, outbound network, and any status checks that are failed. So this data will come in handy, and it will actually start to fill in as you keep your instance running. And you can actually filter it by several of these date parameters: 1 hour, 6 hours, a day, a week, and 2 weeks. The fourth tab is networking. This will identify your IP address, your firewall rules that you have set up, and any load balancing that you have created. Snapshots, we talked about it earlier, what snapshots are. So for this specific instance, your snapshots will be displayed here, and this is where you also would be kicking off a request for a snapshot. History basically talks about all the different actions that have been done on the instance here, and this is a pretty self-explanatory and a very dangerous one. So deleting an instance will permanently destroy it. So be careful not to use this without without making sure you're on the right instance, and if once it's gone, it's gone. A couple of buttons up here that may come in handy. Stop would be actually stopping the instance. What this will also do is stop the billing on it as well. And then reboot in case you need to restart it. Once you do stop your instance, the button changes into start, so you can start that instance back up. So now let's go back to our other tab and see if the WordPress site was loaded, and sure enough, it has loaded. The flavor of WordPress is Bitnami, and as you can see, they actually add a little icon at the bottom right here. If you click on that, it'll tell you how this WordPress system has been set up and how to access it further. So one of the first things that it shows you is the access for the WP admin. The user is the username is user. The password is actually available on the server itself, and let me show you how to get to that. And with that, we'll kind of wrap up this video. So if you go back to your WordPress instance, and if you go to WP admin, this is the access that we need to get. So the user name is user, but we need to find the password now. So the way to find the password is you come back to your dashboard for your instance, come to this connect screen, click on the connect button. Let me move this window into view. And this is your SSH or command line or SSH terminal into your instance. You can hit ls to see the list of files and folders in the directory that you logged into. And one of the files that it creates when you set up an instance is called the Bitnami application password. And so what you want to do is the password is stored in that file. So we want to read that file. So in Linux, the command to read out a file would be cat, C-A-T, and then the name of the file. So you just start typing Bitnami. Now what you want to do is it has word completion or auto completion. So if you just hit tab, it'll pre-fill the rest of it. But if you want, you can go ahead and just type it all in. So once you hit that, you'll see that it shows the contents of that file, which is our password. So let's go ahead and select that. And once you select it, the way you want to copy it to your clipboard is click on this icon down here, select it again, that's available, and then click on copy. And then you can minimize this window, come back to the WP admin login screen, and paste that password, and you're in. And now from here you can change the password, or you can add more users and leave the admin user out. Do whatever you want. It's a WordPress instance that was all set up for you. So with that, I want to go ahead and stop the video right here. It is getting pretty long. The next episode we'll talk about how to assign static IPs. We'll also go into view, but we'll start creating an actual Ubuntu instance and start to connect it up with another service called Server Pilot. And that is what is the powerful feature of Lightsail, is to be able to have one powerful Ubuntu Linux server and be able to host multiple websites on it using Server Pilot. So we'll see that in the next episode. Alright guys, hopefully you liked that video and were able to set up your first AWS Lightsail account. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the little bell icon so that you get notified when I post more videos like this. I will be getting more videos out, the next episode out in about a week, so stay tuned for that.